focus this morning. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Let's get started. Health tech, is it a double-edged sword really? Is obsessive tracking making us less healthy? Is worrying about your health too much also unhealthy? Empowerment or exhaustion, the health tech dilemma. Has tracking our health gone too far now?
And after that, we shift focus to 11 women who are united by one mission. It's a story of both sea and sisterhood as they break barriers together and chart new waters for Nari Shakti. We are going to take you to meet 11 extraordinary women from the armed forces and their mission.
Also on the program this morning, we've got Nandati Gupta, the Kota to the world stage. 2 years, one dream, India's Miss World contender, the heart behind the crown as well, inside her journey. We are living in a time when technology is tracking everything, every step, every heartbeat, every breath, all your sleep cycles, your calorie intake, your hydration levels. There is a gadget really that you can put your finger on for literally everything. In India, fitness tracking devices have also exploded in popularity, with wearable sales growing over 70% last year. Indians are amongst the world's most active users of health apps, sheer numbers of course there, logging everything from steps taken to water that goes down.
And while this tracking trend has empowered millions to take control of their health, understand, for example, the kind of calories that something that looks healthy can actually have, or what actually walking 10,000 steps looks like, it's also sparked a growing concern. Are we becoming obsessive with our numbers? Mental health experts are warning that obsessive tracking can trigger anxiety, perfectionism, health paranoia. So another entirely different set of problems. And this is something that is specific especially to urban Indians. We all know those people who put up screenshots saying, I've walked 10,000 steps today or run 10 kilometers today, and they show you exactly where they've run. Doctors are also flagging that over-reliance on metrics might lead us to ignore the body's natural signals.
Yeah.
The instinct that once kept our ancestors alive.
So where do we draw the line really? We're not saying either of them are bad. We are just saying you need to understand what's a good moderation for your body, because that's going to be different for every individual. So joining us today this morning is Dr. Harish Shetty. He's a psychiatrist at the Dr. L.H. Hiranandani Hospital. Hi, good morning, sir. Dr. Agni Kumar Bose, consultant dermatologist, is also with us this morning. Dr. Agni actually put out a post which talked about it, which really struck a chord with us. So we thought we got to discuss this here on the Breakfast Club. So Dr. Bose, let me begin with you. You know, there is a spectrum of people on the health meter. There is Brian Johnson on one hand. He's saying, I'm going to track every breath I take and I'm not going to die. Don't die is what his motto is. And then it's the other end of the spectrum where people are saying, listen, you know what? Hum khate peete ghar ke, hame farak nahi padta. Things will take care. So really, between that spectrum of obsessing about your health with these meters, with these gadgets and not caring at all, where does really one draw the Lakshman Rekha?
Good morning, Sonal. Good morning, Toya. Thank you so much for having me. So, Sonal, like you said correctly, there is a spectrum. On one end, you'll have somebody like a Brian Johnson who's too obsessive. And on the other hand, you'll have somebody saying, my grandmother also did this, my grandfather also did this, they lived just fine, right? Both are in a way wrong. Physiology runs in the middle. Normalcy runs in the middle. You cannot be so obsessive with gadgets, with technology, wherein you forget about your own body's natural signs. And at the same time, you cannot be so lax, where you're drinking, you're smoking a lot, your diet is haywire, you're not doing anything, and you're just going by the fact that mere dada nani to sahi the. So it has to be moderate.
Okay. I just want to ask you, Agni, another question, and then we'll just come over, Dr. Shetty, to you. But Dr. Bose, Dr. Agni Bose, can I just ask you next? tell our audiences you're also a marathon runner, which means that at some point you had to use data to track, I assume, your own statistics. So where did you decide is the line? What do you track in the daily, and what do you encourage everyone around you to track? Or do you say don't track anything?
No, fair enough. So I've been guilty of this. This is my tracker. So yes, so while running marathons, I would use it to track my pace, because you want to finish in a particular time, and when there's no access to what you're running at, what pace, that's all. My watch also has the ability to show me my ECG, and that is grossly inaccurate. My watch also has the ability to show me my blood SpO2. Remember during COVID times we used to measure our SpO2 using pulse oximetry. Where did we put that pulse oximetry? We put it on the fingertips so that it can see the color of your blood and determine what your blood oxygen is. When my watch, which I'm wearing here, is used, I'm using that to determine my pulse oximetry. It shows me about 94%, 93%. I should have been dead at that percentage. Okay. ECG, when we take, how do we take ECG? We put 12 leads. It goes on the chest, right side, left side. It goes on the underarm, goes on the back. When we use a watch to track our ECG, the watch is kept here and we're taking our ECG. That is grossly inaccurate, and you end up getting a false sense of security. That is the problem. So while running, I would just use it to track my speed and my pace. That's about it.
Okay, but Dr. Bose, don't doctors back in the day used to actually check your pulse on your hand?
Definitely. So pulse we check from here, but that checks your oxygen saturation. So oxygen, okay, so it's like the Titanic, okay? What does common sense dictate? If I'm cruising in the North Atlantic in a sea full of icebergs, I should go slow. I shouldn't overspeed. I'm relying on two people sitting on top of a boat to tell me when they see the icebergs. If they don't see the icebergs and I'm going at 20 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour, my ship is bound to hit an iceberg and crash. So over reliance on a technology which is not necessarily accurate, that's a problem.
Okay.
Okay, let's go over, let's bring in Dr. Shetty here. Dr. Shetty, we thought we had to come to you because you're someone who specializes in the mind. And one of the downsides of this phenomenon is that we're increasingly seeing, especially younger people, so especially people in their 20s, 30s, but I know some people in their 50s too, who log in their steps, log in their exercise, and are like, look, I'm done for the day. Dr. Shetty, in your practice, are you observing downsides around you, among younger people, among a certain demographic? What have you seen?
Absolutely. I think a lot of young boys, middle-aged men and women, young women are meterocentric. They are meterocentric. And yesterday, I had a man who said that he logged 10,000 steps, and he said 6,000 in the office and 4,000 on the track. The 6,000 in the office makes no sense. That may burn your calories and probably bring down your sugar, but that's not exercise. Exercise has to be aligned with mindfulness. Exercise has to be aligned with diet. And exercise has to be aligned with truth and lies. Those young boys and girls who sleep for 4 hours and then walk 10,000 steps or run 5 kilometers, I'm sorry to say this, they might die very soon. And those young boys and girls or the middle-aged managements in corporate who humiliate their juniors, who shout at them, who are angry at them, and then they say, this is my Ramban to really neutralize my barn of Ravan. Doesn't work. Exercise has to be aligned with diet. Exercise has to be aligned with mindfulness. Exercise has to be aligned with truth and lies. And what is also very important is that excessive, obsessive looking at the meters would destroy your relationships. I know people, their spouses, they tell me that he or she walks for 10 kilometers, but when I was sick, he did not come till he finished his 10 kilometers. That's not right. He or she is so obsessive that it doesn't bother if a man has met with an accident on the road, he will not pick him up, but he'll finish his 10 kilometers. Horrible. I think what is very important to understand, as Dr. Bose also said, body has signals. And our body is the biggest pharmaceutical company on the earth. And when you do exercise, plan that you are doing exercise to be in touch with yourself and to be in touch with the world around. To build equanimity, to build samanta. Exercise is also meditation. It's not just physical activity. And exercise is not about proteins. androgenic injections to build your cuts or to build your abs. All those actors whose abs you see are made on computers, on graphics. This is what the young should actually know. And
Dr. Shetty, if I may, I respect everything that you're saying, but if I may, not all. We know of some who worked very hard, but I get your point. I get your point that you're saying that, listen, you can't look at just one metric and have that analyze your overall health. I think that's the larger point here, right? Only your sleep score cannot tell you how healthy you are. Only the steps taken cannot tell you how healthy you are. Only your glucometer that everybody's so obsessed with these days. Oh, I had 1 cup of tea and look what it did. Oh, I had this after that and see what it's doing to my glucose spike. That alone cannot define health. I get that. But, you know, I also want to come to the point of it does help. We've seen miracle stories of older people where their heart rate went up in the middle of a game or whatever, and they told themselves, okay, it's time for me to calm down. They go and now talk to their doctors to say that, you know, I'm going to track my heart rate because I gym. I want to ensure that till what degree can I take my heart rate so that I'm not straining my body. That's also good, right? So that...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would still say that I'm not saying that you should not watch your meters. But remember one thing, when you watch your meters, watch yourself. Watch your emotional awareness.
Yeah.
I know of a lot of people who wear meters and when they exercise, they have dropped dead. So it's not always the case. But please watch your meters. But align it to mindfulness, align it to emotional awareness, align it to your values, which is very, very important. I have a doctor who drinks 1 bottle of whiskey and runs 10 kilometers in the morning. And he said, I'm fit, I'm okay. I said, no, you can't intake poison and believe that exercise will help you to really neutralize it. Excessive obsessiveness is bad, which is what I'm saying. That causes anxiety, that causes fear. And what is very important, that causes these people to push everybody in the family to do what they do. Not right at all. Some people who exercise don't smile at all. They put a lot of things in their ears. You need to be aware of the muscles, what's happening to your body when you exercise. There's no need to have boom, boom music. Some of them have met with accidents on the roads when they put things in their ears. I would not say what is it. And they're hit by trucks or by buses or by cycles. Please understand, exercise is about awareness. Wear your meters. Be aware of every muscle, be aware of the sweat which comes to you, be aware of the joy which every cell in your body is enjoying along with you, and that is exercise. Now, after a heart attack, there is cardiac rehab. Very good. I think it's fantastic, and it has to be completely monitored. But nowadays, a lot of young boys and girls are victims to half-baked trainers in the gyms. And they will say, one more. Okay. And let me tell you that this is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. So mindfulness, holistic healing, meters and exercise will go a very long way.
Let me take this question now to Dr. Bose. Dr. Bose, are there studies? So 2 parts to this question. Firstly, are there studies to support this analysis? Because I have felt it myself, you know, anyone who exercises may have felt it, that, you know, when you go running and you're aware if you're running, you don't put on music, it does feel like you've worked harder than if you had put the music in. But in terms of effect on the muscle, what do studies show? And also, Dr. Bose, explain this concept of hormesis, something you put in your post that's a larger scientific concept that I think it's important to understand here.
Fair enough. So I'll start with hormesis first. So hormesis means that when you subject yourself to small levels of stressors every day, you end up building resilience. So for example, all of us live in India. We're used to the food here. We're used to the water here. We can safely drink the water here without landing up in the washroom. Right. Whereas, a European or an American, when they come to India for the first time, they have our water and they've not built any sort of immunity. Their entire trip is, gone for the toss. So that is hormesis, that unless and until some amount of stressor is put on the body will not function properly. If you're going to live in a very sterile environment, if you're not going to, push your body, you're not doing justice to your body. So that's hormesis. Now, what was the first question, Toya? I forgot.
It was about whether exercising without music is actually more effective.
Fair enough. So, yes, there are plenty of studies which it's like Dr. Harish sir said, that it's the entire experience of exercising, your physical, tactile, interpretation of it, your auditory, your olfactory, everything, this entire full picture. If you're cutting off certain senses, if you're cutting off certain inputs, you're not really doing justice to yourself, because now you are distracted. When I'm exercising now, so of course, getting hit by buses and all is a different thing, but your body is sending you signs. Your eyes are sending you signs. Your ears are sending you signs. Everything is sending you signs. If I'm over relying on a meter, that is a problem. So yes, you should. If you have the access, if you have the luxury to track something, by all means, please track it. No doubt about it. Just don't be obsessive with it. Do not ignore your body, which has evolved over 4.5 billion years. It is the universe's most advanced tracker. All the tracking devices you can use as a supplement, not as a replacement. Number one. Number two, when you exercise, it's not just about you need to feel the humidity, you need to feel the sweat, you need to feel your muscles expanding, you need to feel everything. If you're constantly distracted by whatever, you're listening to a song, you're vibing to it and everything, you might not do justice to your own body. So listen to yourself. This is the best tracker, not a device which you wear.
I have a very unpopular opinion. I think a little bit of music helps you push and actually make it happen. If I want to cover some meters for somebody who's just starting out, I think it's a good push as well. But like I said, that's me, and every individual is different. But I do want to say, I think my takeaway from this discussion, because we're running out of time over here, is that I think just knowing what your body knows best and then using these apps to sort of take a better decision is okay. But losing sleep over your sleep count is not okay. And when that starts happening, that is when we really need to worry. Oh, we do have some time. So Dr. Bose, let me ask you this. What are some good ways to track? We've talked about what not to do. Let's talk about what can be done. Are there some good trackers which you would recommend, say, to people? For example, the people who have diabetes, for them the glucometer is a huge help. It really gives them a good way to check their diet, know that there is no spike or crash that's happening straight away. Specifically for people, are there certain recommendations, some good gadgets?
Fair enough, like you said. If a problem exists and if there is a tracker for that particular problem, by all means, please exploit it. So somebody who is diabetic and they're wearing a continuous glucose monitoring, fair enough. You can track, okay, if I've had a ragi ka roti, how much does my sugar spike? If I've had bajra ka roti, how much does my sugar spike? That's a very good tracker to do, right? That's a very, very good tracker. If somebody who already has cardiac arrhythmias, right? And so this particular tracker of mine, it only tracks one particular arrhythmia, which is known as atrial fibrillation. Okay. So if you are a patient who has atrial fibrillation and you're wearing that particular tracker, it will sense at that particular rhythm and it will send you a shock where it will call your emergency contacts that, hey, he or she has suffered from, So that is only specific for those particular diseases. The thing is, if the disease doesn't exist or the problem doesn't exist, tracking it doesn't really solve any purpose. And you then sometimes fall into a false sense of security. That is a problem. Please note, this only tracks atrial fibrillation, nothing else. Nothing else. And it writes that also, that we only track atrial fibrillation. So if you have a particular problem, and if there is a tracker for it, by all means use it. If somebody is suffering from infertility and they're trying to conceive, they can track their ovulation, they can track their cycles. So at least it will tell you what the fertile days are, because in case fertility is an issue, at least it will tell you, okay, these are good fertile days, one can plan to conceive. So if there is a problem and a specific tracker for that exists, by all means use it, supplement it, but that's not a blanket statement for everything.
I like that. I think that's a good way. If you have a problem, then get a gadget, not before and create one. Yeah.
But let's also go over to Dr. Shetty for closing words. And before we do, I just want to highlight there's a whole other aspect to this phenomenon now, which is people using ChatGPT as their tracker, where you have something unspecialized. I'm guilty of putting photos of my food and being like, tell me how much. And I know that's a deeply inaccurate way of trying to figure out how healthy or not healthy your food is. But Dr. Shetty, coming to you, closing comments, you were telling us, even when we were doing some of our research for today, that you know people your son's age who've had heart attacks, even though they do track their data. So it doesn't seem to be a foolproof method.
I think what is important is everybody above the age of 18 should consult their doctor and find what are the exercises they should do. And that is so, so important. At the same time, they should consult their own families, and the family should supervise, because these 18-year-olds need supervision. What are they doing for 2 hours in the gym? Why are they exercising too much? Why do they believe that every stress in their life can be beaten by exercise? Though there is enough data to say exercise is a stress buster
Happy
and
hormones.
helps mild depression. WHO data and the film I Have a Black Dog, 4-minute movie which everybody should see. Exercise is a stress buster and also can manage mild depression. But at the same time, you need to be guided by doctors. You need to be guided by your physiotherapist and those who are in the league of exercise, but don't go to half-baked trainers and don't get peer influenced by others who are using a lot of practice. Young, be careful. My son's friend died of an accident. My friend's son had a myocardial infarct at the age of 30. It is happening all over. So be careful. Use exercise as exercise for mindfulness, for the entire body, not only for the muscles, but for every cell in the body. And remember, be in touch with a doctor when you start exercising.
It is confusing though, because I have also heard a lot of stories where the tracker is what saved the person.
Yes.
You know, and so
Yes.
this balance that we're talking about, I feel really is important. Wear it if you know you have a medical problem, for example. Is that a fair bottom line, doctors?
Yeah, I think we'll take that away from what Dr. Bose said, that, you know, if you have a problem, get a gadget to help you with that problem. If you don't have one, just don't create it. Just live your life, be in sync with your body and listen to your body. And like Dr. Shetty said, your body is the biggest pharmacy. It is the biggest detector. So if you're just listening and watching, you're going to be fine.
All right. Goodbye, doctors. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on from this topic. Perhaps shed all of our lovely gadgets that we've, bought.
Are you throwing away some gadgets now after
and spent
this?
so much money on. But let's move now from this to stories that are taking place across the world. First, let's take a look at President Draupadi Murmu on Monday conferring the prestigious Padma Awards to 71 distinguished individuals at the Civil Investiture ceremony held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan's Darbar Hall. We'll just bring you more details around it. Because the event honours included 4 Padma Vibhushan, 10 Padma Bhushan and 57 Padma Shri awards, recognising outstanding contributions across diverse fields.
Also renowned violinist Dr. L. Subramaniam was awarded the Padma Vibhushan for his exceptional contribution to the field of art.
And the late Osamu Suzuki, former CEO of Suzuki Motor Corporation, that's where you heard that, was posthumously honoured with the Padma Vibhushan for his contributions to trade and industry. His son, current CEO Toshihiro Suzuki, accepted the award on his behalf.
In the field of art, filmmaker Shekhar Kapoor, actor and Andhra Pradesh legislator Nandamuri Balakrishnan and actor S. Arijit Kumar, the late singer Pankaj Das were awarded the Padma Bhushans. The award for Pankaj Das was received by his wife, Farida Udas.
And in the world of hockey, you had former Indian hockey goalkeeper P.R. Srijesh, who was conferred the Padma Vibhushan for his achievements in sports. Notable Padma Shri recipients included the playback singer Jaspinder Narula for her contribution to music.
All right, so that is the Padma Shri recipient Jaspinder Narula accepting her award with the president. But let's move on from that and take you to the next one. Notable Padma Shri recipient who also included Indian cricketer Ravichandran Ashwin for excellence in sports. Let's just bring those up as well. And of course, loud cheers as he went in to take and receive his That's right.
These are such a huge moment of pride,
Yeah.
not just for the people receiving this, but the families, the
Of course.
ecosystem that supported them. After that, those gorgeous visuals, prominent Vedic scholar Ganeshwar Shastri Dravid, honoured with the Padma Shri, is credited with determining the auspicious times for the consecration of the Ram Lalla at the Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya, the foundation ceremony of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor in Varanasi, and others.
All right, that was everything to know from the Padma Awards at the Rashtrapati Bhavan there. But let's also take you through to stories coming in from India and across the globe. We'll start with the new exhibition offers, where a deep dive into renowned Japanese artist Utagawa Hiroshige's enduring legacy. On show are famed works of the Shono sudden rain shower from his series The 53 Stations of Tokyo, as well as the artist fan prints designs as well. The exhibition also looks at the legacy and influence of Hiroshige, which is a section dedicated to artists who interpreted his work as well.
And now let's take you to dramatic coverage around rapper Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. Remember, the trial is looming. His defense lawyers are starting their search for something very tough to find. Jurors who've not yet made their mind up about the hip-hop mogul despite the intense media coverage. Remember, it's really important for a juror to be unbiased. That is how they are jurors in the first place. But in this case, it seems most people have made up their minds. Starting on Monday, hundreds of New York residents who have been summoned for jury duty will arrive at the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. They'll be filling out questionnaires asking them exactly this. What do they already know about the case? This is the first step towards seating this panel of 12 jurors, 6 alternates that will determine Combs' fate after a trial expected to last 8 to 10 weeks. Remember, Combs is accused of forcing multiple women to take part in elaborate sex performances with male workers. There was a lot of controversy when this was first released. He used to call them freak ops, and all of this took place over 2 decades ago. Now, he has pleaded not guilty. His lawyers have argued that the acts prosecutors described were consensual.
A group of men appeared in a Paris court on Monday on charges of robbing Kim Kardashian at gunpoint in 2016. Now dubbed as the Grandpa Robbers, the suspects are accused of stealing jewelry worth millions of dollars, including the $4 million engagement ring given to her by her then husband rapper Kanye West. Investigators said that the suspects tied up the billionaire celebrity with zip ties and duct tape. They fled on bicycles with an estimated $9 million in loot. The men were all of the age of 60 at that time, would you believe it? Kardashians will travel to Paris in May to give evidence in the trial, which is expected to run for almost a month. When it happened, the heist was considered to be the biggest robbery involving an individual in France for more than 20 years.
And now let's take you to something fun. Universal Studios offering a fully immersive experience for those who are fans of Star Trek and Back to the Future. Universal Fans Fest Nights encourages visitors to cosplay, and it's created immersive spaces complete with character actors where fans can go back to the past, visit the 1950s in Back to the Future, or go into the future and be on the bridge of Star Trek Starship Enterprise. Back to the Future, the theme park also benefits from authenticity resulting from the film set that still remains entirely untouched, and fans can actually interact with the character actors, play rides, dance to musical performances, that and more if you're a fan.
When Saudi Arabia's Red Sea port of Jeddah hosted Formula One star Lewis Hamilton and US singer Jennifer Lopez during the Grand Prix this month, visitors found they were also drawn to less obvious attraction, the historic Old Town. Jeddah is known for being the kingdom's modern commercial hub, and the exodus of its merchant class meant its Old Town had fallen into neglect. The kingdom's ambitious vision for 2030 plan to diversify its economy and make itself less dependent on oil, however, has included revitalizing culture to lure tourism revenue. Visitors who came for F1 event found they loved the slower pace of the restored Old Town.
And after that, we take you to the moment that people can't stop talking about. This is 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and he's become the youngest centurion in men's T20 cricket. He smashed 100 of just 35 balls in IPL 2025 for Rajasthan Royals against the Gujarat Titans, and the young man was so excited. This is only his 3rd game of this season's IPL.
In fact, the 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi became the youngest half-centurion in the history of IPL on Monday as he brought up the landmark of just 17 while playing for Rajasthan Royals against Gujarat Titans at the Man Singh Stadium in Jaipur. Several cricketers hailed him. Yuvraj Singh said, "This kid is taking on the best bowlers in the world without blinking an eyelid." Sachin Tendulkar said Vaibhav's fearless approach was the recipe behind the fabulous innings. Rohit Sharma called him classic, and Yusuf Pathan congratulated him for breaking records of senior cricketers.
He is the man of the moment, and after the break we are switching over to the woman of the moment. Coming up after the break, we're bringing you Nandini Gupta. She has gone from Kota to the world stage. She's waited 2 years with one dream. She's already India's Miss World contender, and it's going to be taking place in just a few weeks from now in India. Yes, the big competition is taking place right here in India, and she's going to tell us about how she's excited and how she's been preparing for almost 2 years.
There's more. We have accessed the video of a Jaish rally in Rawalakot in POK. This was attended by Mufti Asghar and Umair, the masterminds behind the Pahalgam attack. Now, while Pakistan has denied housing these terror groups, this video proves otherwise. Rauf Asghar, who is responsible for the Uri attack, is seen in this video. In another video accessed by CNN News 18 during the same period, Hurriyat-e-Pasban rally. This was conducted on the Israel issue in Muzaffarabad. Top intelligence sources are confirming, saying this is nothing but pure revival of the Kashmiri agenda by Pak security forces and non-state actors. But more importantly, they are trying to use the Hamas style of attacks and perpetrate and replicate that in Bharat, attacking civilians, identifying them by their religion and goring them. Now, there are nearly 33 top operatives in the Kashmir Valley. There's more news on this. 33 top operatives, their list is also out, and slowly the intelligences are now trying to close in on them. This is the entire list of 33 operatives that we have accessed with where they are, which are the terror outfits that they are associated with. This includes the ISIS Khorasan, Al-Badr, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen. They are part of various jihadi tanzeems, but these are people who travelled with legal documents, valid documents to Pakistan, got covertly trained in terror camps, and then had their affiliations with these terror outfits, and then they have come back into Bharat and they are continuing their terror activity. This is the list of masterminds. This is the second hierarchy. Now we got more news coming through. This is the list of entire terror trained operatives in Bharat, the list of 33. Now these are the masterminds. What we have also got is the entire mastermind list of masterminds originating of Pak origin in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the entire jihad theatre. This is the second hierarchy after the top leadership of all outfits. So these are the operational commanders, those who are actually implementing the plans on ground. They are experts in radicalizing, logistics and training. Agencies say their scale is very high and can sustain jihad narrative for decades. CNN News 18 has accessed the names of nearly 20 terror masterminds operating from Pakistan, and they include Saifullah Kasuri, Lashkar's deputy chief, Abu Musa, Lashkar's POK top commander. Then there is Mohammad Nawaz, who is Lashkar's POK recruitment commander, Abdul Rafa Rasool, Hizbul's operational commander, Abdullah Khalid, Lashkar's field commander, Idris Shaheen, he is the Huji commander. So these are the main handlers, the operational heads. These are the ones who are training the cadre and who are running these terror camps on ground. The figureheads or the big mimes are the ones that are doing the rounds who are proscribed, but these are the ones who are on ground. So we have shown you nearly 20 handlers, terror commanders operating from Pakistan, while 33 active commanders are in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, CNN News 18 has also accessed the list of nearly 33 operatives. 25 are from the Hizbul Mujahideen, 6 are from the Lashkar-e-Taiba, 1 from Jaish.
Welcome back. You're watching The Breakfast Club, and this morning a story of skill, grit and history is in the making. 11 women officers from the Army, Navy and Air Force have all set sail on India's first tri-service all-women sailing expedition. Covering over 4,000 nautical miles across the Indian Ocean. We did get you a glimpse of them earlier on in their expedition as well.
It's a test of endurance, teamwork and a powerful step forward for women in uniform. And Yasha Kotak brings you this incredible journey. Take a look.
11 women, 1 vessel and 55 days at sea. This is a journey defined by endurance, precision and unity. For nearly 2 months, these officers will navigate the vast Indian Ocean, carried by wind, willpower and the strength of each other.
Apart from the defense life, sailing began for me as a recreational activity. I was part of the sailing club. So as मतलब जैसे जैसे उसमें और आगे बढ़ते गए तो उसमें interest आता गया, and then we were thriving for that adventure. So it's in all it's a very happy thing for us that we are doing it, and of course there are very challenges that come our way, but those challenges only make us more confident.
As a true reflection of Nari Shakti and inter-services strength, women officers from the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force have come together for a sailing expedition spanning over 4,000 nautical miles. India's first tri-services all-women sailing expedition, Samudra Pradakshina, was flagged off from Mumbai on April 7th. Over 55 days, the crew will sail from Mumbai to Seychelles and back, taking on one of the most challenging marine routes aboard the Indian Army sailing vessel Triveni.
Initially it was a little, I won't say it was difficult, but then it was strange because none of us is used to staying in water for so long, such long periods. But then what we felt, we liked it and we started enjoying it.
Crew of girls is always called as, they are the most happening place you can, and people can have. So on board the waves with 6 girls is actually very entertaining. And we enjoy each other's company, we enjoy the talks. There is no single moment where you can find lull in the atmosphere, in the environment around. So like we cook together, we chat together, we have games together. Then we celebrated Holi together. So it's a fun kind of moment, and I am very sure when we embark on this journey, while facing those rough waves and all, that that sweetness and that camaraderie of the women and the enjoyment part, it will all fall together.
This team includes 6 officers from the Army, 1 from the Navy and 4 from the Air Force, each bringing their unique expertise to a shared mission bound by discipline, courage and commitment.
If you see the magnitude of this opportunity, it's once in a lifetime opportunity, and I am into adventure. I like exploring new things. I think this was the biggest of what I have done till date. So that was my motivation to do something new in life that I have not explored so far.
And you said you were into adventure. Did you ever think that you'd be going on an expedition like this before?
No, because for me it was very new. Only when I had filled the form I came to know that something of this magnitude exists and I can be a part of it.
Our boat is called the Indian Army sailing vessel Triveni. Tarini is the boat on which Dilna and Rupa are. Throughout our training and throughout our voyages, we have always had a eureka moment because every day is a learning. You learn something new about the ocean, you learn something about sailing, about your rigging, about your equipment. So I cannot pinpoint on one thing that, this has been a eureka moment, but I can tell you one thing with conviction, that every day is a learning process and it is a very different kind of teacher. The ocean is a very different kind of teacher.
This expedition is a powerful step in redefining leadership and capability in the armed forces. It speaks of perseverance, resilience, and the unwavering spirit of Indian women in uniform. And it's more than just a journey. It's preparation for something even bigger.
My sister, Captain Omita Dalvi, she is the part of the expedition here, and we are so really very proud of her because she is the only member, none of our family members into the armed forces, and she's the first family member who is into the armed forces. And being a girl, I'm it's all credits to my parents that who've supported her right from her dream of becoming a pilot, that now she's doing this sailing competition, and we are so very proud of her. I mean, it's the complete family support that every little achievement of hers we've celebrated greatly and grandly.
This mission is shaping the future. It's preparing these women to take on the world's oceans, circumnavigating the globe in 2026, setting new benchmarks for adventure, excellence and equality. With video journalist Manas Das, this is Yasha Kotak for CNN News 18.
Okay, let's take you now to something entirely different, from these women on the field to a different woman. It's not every day that Miss World comes home, and it's not every day that a small town girl from Rajasthan stands ready to take on the world. We're taking you next to our person of interest, Nandini Gupta. She was crowned Miss India almost 2 years ago, and she's been holding on to this dream, and today she's right at the edge of making it a reality.
Now, beyond the glitz of the gowns and the spotlights, Nandini is championing a cause close to her heart, building an India that celebrates and uplifts its differently abled citizens. As she gears up to compete in categories like Top Model, Dances of the World, we catch up with the young woman carrying the hopes of a billion. And this time it's even more special because it's happening here in India. All right, with that, let's welcome her on the program now. Hi, good morning. How are you doing, Nandini? Let's just dive in with the first straight question. You've been waiting almost 2 years for this, and now it's finally here. Miss World 2025 on home ground, no pressure over there. What has it felt like to hold on to this dream for so long, knowing your moment was just around the corner, just coming in?
Well, holding on to the dream for 2 years was more about working on yourself to get the dream accomplished. In the span of 2 years, I have worked day in and day out and about on myself to speak like a good orator, to work on myself, my walk, the fitness, the communication, and entirely I've shaped myself from a young girl with a demeanor of childlike, and now to a woman who's 21-year-old, holding responsibilities of India on her shoulders and love of all the 1.4 billion Indian citizens in her heart.
Nandini, you've said in some interviews that your father hugged you for the first time when you won. As you prepare for the biggest competition of your life, what's your parents, what's your ecosystem support been like? Because there was a long period of preparation.
Well, when I had won the crown, on my winning night, my mother, my father, my younger sister and one of my friends was present in the audience, and I remember it so profoundly that after I had won the crown, I saw my parents approaching me, and there are security guards on the stage. There are people who are there to wish us, to greet us, and to take pictures with us. But I saw my father approach me. I saw my younger sister has tears in her eyes. My mother, it was somewhere a shared dream between me and her, but she didn't say much. But it was my father who was overjoyed with emotions. He was overflowed with emotions. He came and he hugged me for the very first time. Coming from a patriarchal Rajasthani society where where at home, in our rituals, it's a tradition to touch our parents' feet, and never in my lifetime I've ever hugged my father. But he came out of his way and he hugged me with tears in his eyes. What more a girl can ask for? And after that, as a child, as a little girl, I used to tell my father that पापा सब ना कहते हैं कि ये सुमित जी की गुड़िया है, ये सुमित जी की गुड़िया है. देखना एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब सब बोलेंगे कि ये नंदिनी के पिता है, ये नंदिनी के पापा हैं, और देखो पापा आज वैसा सपना पूरा हो गया. So there's been in 2 years there's a lot that I've accomplished, that's a lot that I have learned, and that's a lot I've unlearned.
How sweet. Really fulfilling all those dreams, and kudos to you, Nandini. But you know, the training for the platform you're competing for is not easy. You have women who just don't look smashing. they speak well, they're well travelled, the competition is quite intense, so is the training, we are told. Are there parts of training that you absolutely love? Some not so much? Share some details.
Oh well, going to the gym early in the morning is what I hate. Standing in the gym, in front of the gym mirror and telling myself, Nandini, you have to do it, you have to get into the best shape, you have to keep your diet going on, and that's one of the most strictest and the hardest part of the journey. And well, everywhere in the different aspects of the journey and in the training, you continuously unlearn, you move around, you meet new people, you gauge a lot of learnings through them. But the one thing that I've recently developed about me is the ability to learn the dialects of languages. Although if I don't know the language, but I'm still able to say it with the dialect, and that has come with my work opportunities that have led me to work in different parts of the country. And now I'm like a cultural sponge, always enthusiastic to learn about languages. And yes, I've learned Telugu, kuncham kuncham.
Sweet.
So tell us one of the things that is closest to your heart, because there are many categories for this. There's top models, there's dances, but beauty with a purpose, I believe, is something that's very, very close to your heart. Your project in particular is called Ekta. Can you just tell us a little bit about it and maybe who inspired it?
Well, Project Ekta means oneness. And growing up, I saw my uncle who has polio in his tongue, has developmental delays and intellectual disabilities, to be living in a world where people weren't welcome towards him. They always judged him. They always looked at him with fear or pity or with sympathy, or if they loved him, they would do it for charity. But they did not love him for the person he truly is. Every day I saw him struggle and live into the world which is not built for him, where people would look to his struggles but not beyond his struggles, and that was really heartbreaking. Every time I could see that incident, I would see my heart breaking into pieces. If a child used to come at my place, at our home, my uncle was made to sit in another room or another table or another chair because they were scared of him. My idea with Project Ekta is to not separate them from us, but to make the spaces on the table, not because of charity, not because of sympathy, but because of justice. They are as equal as humans as we are, and they deserve the platform to be called humans and to be treated with normalization.
That's actually quite beautiful. Kudos to you, Nandini, for having worked on this project. But could you share with us what's this one thing perhaps that you've learned from differently abled, specially abled community that perhaps changed the way you look at yourself? I mean, you are in a beauty contest on one hand, while you're trying to give the platform to those who perhaps are seen differently.
I started to become more grateful, and I have started to hope a little more each and every day. Every day we take our life very easy, we sometimes complain of the things which are beyond our control, but we don't realize that what we are blessed with, someone is not, and they are asking for that blessing. So to be grateful every day of what you have and to work hard for what you want is something that I have learned from them. And yes, hope is one big decision that they make each and every day, and they have a lot of hope in their unspoken dreams, which I have recognized, and I can't wait to share the spotlight when I'll have it with them so that they don't ever have to live in the shadows.
Beautiful.
Okay, Nandini, you've just been speaking so beautifully about your dreams, and we're going to take it to something slightly fun now. So the next question shifts focus. Tell us a little bit about the biggest health or beauty hack that this training has taught you. I ask you that because I know that's a question that a lot of people ask you. Ki itna training kiya, and are there, some tricks behind the scenes that people use?
The biggest change that I've made is to not apply my skincare but to eat my skincare.
Okay.
Well, people apply amla in their hair, but I started to eat amla in my daily routine. To not apply aloe vera on face, but to eat aloe vera की सब्जी. हमारे यहाँ उसकी सब्जी बना के खाते हैं. And a lot of turmeric, haldi की सब्जी. It's very famous in Rajasthan. And a lot of rose water on your face. If your face gets dry, instead of a makeup fixer, try rose water. Your makeup will stay. You will be hydrated, and you won't have any makeup cracks on your face. And secondly, it's that going to gym and going to Pilates is not just about building yourself up, but it's also about making a lifestyle of your own, where you wake up at time, you eat at the right time, right food, you breathe good, you eat good, and you think good. And that's how you build a lifestyle. Only working out won't make a difference, or only eating good won't make a difference, but it has to be an amalgamation of all these aspects, and that's where you can become a perfect body or get your perfect physique.
All right then, Nandati, that's a 10 on 10 answer of eating your skincare, also having a routine, not just focused for something, but making it a way of life. But talk to us a little bit about your dreams beyond just the pageant. We really are rooting for you. It's happening in India. You'll have all our wishes, blessings. All of us are watching. Like I said, no pressure on that at all. But what dreams after this?
Well, I consider myself to be diverse as I'm representing India, and if given an opportunity after Miss World, I would definitely want to join the film industry from the south to the Bollywood. Wherever the opportunities knock, you will see Nandini grabbing those opportunities. Well, also later on in my life, I want to have my own sustainable lab-grown diamond business, which thrives on 3 E's, which is ethical, elegant, and empowering. And what all a girl love about, it's diamonds, it's pearls, where it's in Hyderabad, and a lot of respect. And that's what I'm aiming to give it from my brand.
What a very cool and very specific dream, you know,
she's very clear.
beyond the acting. Yeah, because the acting, of course, we wish you all of the best of luck, but I love that you also have huge business plans to go with it. So this is all going to be taking place in Telangana in just a little while from now.
Yeah.
So follow it with all intensity. We have, as we just made you see, we've had you speak to the Indian contender, and she's someone we really have all of our best luck.
The world titles haven't come to India for a while now. There was a time when we had the Sushmita Sens and Lara Dattas and all of that, but it hasn't come to us in a while. So this could just be our chance.
And she's had to wait so long because she won, once she won the award, the wait time for her because of COVID, all the pageants, the world pageants have been
they were
delayed.
catching up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because of which now, after almost like it's literally 2 years, imagine, of having a title but not, being able to compete in this. So we wish her all the best of luck. Imagine staying in that headspace. You're a runner but you can't run your marathon. That's essentially it.
It's like giving an exam.
But
studying for it for 2 years. Very hard. Oh God.
Hard, but also so cool and inspiring for someone so young. Okay, we're going to be moving on now from this to a quick overview of the financial markets. This is a special section on financial markets powered by Money Control Pro, Money Control's premium destination for investing and business insights. Okay, GIFT Nifty is indicating a soft opening for Indian stock markets. Asian stock markets opened already, obviously. They're on a cautious note this morning as investors are awaiting a slew of corporate earnings and economic data. US stock markets, when we speak about them, on Monday they closed with marginal gains after a choppy session. Crude oil prices edged lower in this morning's trade.
All right, let's look at the sector in focus this morning, and the defense sector is back in focus after the Pahalgam terror attack. Globally too, the sector has been hogging the limelight as the US asks allies to spend more. The street is expecting government to expedite ordering in key projects, and higher priority given to execution of key defense programs itself could create opportunities for investment. You can log into Money Control Pro to find out more about India's defense sector and the various other actionable insights on the markets. It's a premium destination for all your investing views and financial insights you will ever need, brought to you by Money Control.
And we're heading into a quick break, but we're not done yet. We come back on the other side with the thing that we want should stay with you. So, see us in just a few minutes.
कोई बिजनेस रजिस्ट्रेशन
At the BRICS foreign ministers meeting in Rio de Janeiro, India thanks BRICS nation for their solidarity with following the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam and reaffirms commitment to working closely with BRICS to strengthen efforts against terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism, financing and safe havens. And we have a reporter Siddhant joining us on this broadcast. Siddhant, do tell us that BRICS has condemned the terror attack in Kashmir. How does this play out in the international front?
Well, that's right. Now, since Foreign Minister Jaishankar has to be in India, especially in these times when India is calibrating its response to terrorism. We are getting to know that the Damu Ravi, who has represented Minister Jaishankar at the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in Rio de Janeiro. In fact, he has advocated for urgent reforms of global governance institutions, including UN Security Council, to better reflect the contemporary realities. He also thanked BRICS countries for their solidarity with India following the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam, and reaffirms commitment to working closely with the BRICS to strengthen efforts against terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism, financing and safe havens.
Welcome back. We've come towards the end of today's Breakfast Club, but not before leaving you with visuals that really captured our hearts and hope to activate yours as well. This one is a match between Amir Khan and Ali Fazal, and they actually went head-to-head for a pickleball game. This all happened on Saturday at the special exhibition match of the World Pickleball League. The semi-finals got an exciting twist as the two Bollywood stars hit the court and showcased their athletic side as well.
We're not remembering the time we both went to the pickleball court and
Yeah,
proved how good
of
we
course.
were at the game. It was Amir Khan versus Ali Fazal at the watch, and they were joined by two players from the league during the match. A video from their pickleball match has gone viral on social media, and it shows the three idiots co-stars engaging in friendly banter amidst that match. Just look at them go.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to take you now to the next visual that we want, and this is something we hope stays in your head and your hearts both. Every year, Navi Mumbai's wetlands undergo a breathtaking transformation. Thousands of greater and lesser flamingos migrate to this region. They paint the landscape with their beautiful hues of pink, and this phenomenon has captivated the hearts of nature enthusiasts, photographers, social media users. Mesmerizing visuals taking the internet by storm.
And before you think this is AI generated or happening anywhere else in the world, no, it's happening in Mumbai, the Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, a vital ecological hotspot. Now that serves as a welcoming haven for all these majestic birds as they arrive in search for food in a safe habitat. The sanctuary's mangrove forest, the mud flats there, and the salt pans also provide the perfect settings for these flamingos to thrive. So here's wishing them a thriving season, a thriving migration as well, and all of you to have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Beautiful right now. Goodbye. See you.
जीरा से प्याज
At the BRICS foreign ministers meeting in Rio de Janeiro, India thanks BRICS nation for their solidarity with following the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam and reaffirms commitment to working closely with BRICS to strengthen efforts against terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism, financing and safe havens. And we have a reporter Siddhant joining us on this broadcast. Siddhant, do tell us that BRICS has condemned the terror attack in Kashmir. How does this play out in the international front?
Well, that's right. Now, since Foreign Minister Jaishankar has to be in India, especially in these times when India is calibrating its response to terrorism. We are getting to know that the Damu Ravi, who has represented Minister Jaishankar at the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in Rio de Janeiro. In fact, he has advocated for urgent reforms of global governance institutions, including UN Security Council, to better reflect the contemporary realities. He also thanked BRICS countries for their support.
Well, good morning. You're watching CNN News 18. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. 1 week after the Pahalgam massacres, investigation picks up pace in Kashmir. Chilling new details are emerging. Sources are telling CNN News 18 that a reconnaissance of hotels was carried out as early as April, hinting at a pre-planned civilian attack. Terrorists reportedly waited for the perfect moment. Heavy rainfall on 20th of April and 21st kept tourists away. But when crowds returned, that is on 22nd, just a week ago, last Tuesday, these terrorists struck the Baisaran Valley. Meanwhile, the NIA has picked up the zipline operator seen in the latest viral video that's been doing the rounds shortly after CNN News 18's exclusive interview raised questions over suspicious behavior at the site. And CNN News 18 has also accessed a list of Pakistan-based handlers running the Kashmir terror theatre, a second-rung leadership that's been sustaining the jihad narrative for decades. In fact, we're getting in some breaking inputs. Now, the agency sources have revealed to CNN News 18 that Pahalgam terror suspect Hashim Musa could have been trained as a para-commando in Pakistan. Agency sources have revealed to CNN News 18 that the use of M4 rifles for Pahalgam attack indicate high level of weapons training. This is an exclusive breaking input that we are bringing to you. Important information surfacing over there. Agency sources have also revealed that the use of M4 rifles for Pahalgam attack have indicated a high level of weapons training, raising questions in terms of who was behind the training. Was it just the terrorists or these terror camps? Let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Arunima, this piece of breaking news coming in that Hashim Musa could have been trained as a para-commando in Pakistan is a direct indication of the direct involvement of ISI with Lashkar.
Yes, not just ISI, but also the regular Pakistani army. He has indeed trained as a para-commando, as is being speculated. And I must add here that at this stage, the agencies are looking at all kinds of inputs, intelligence inputs. They're questioning overground workers to understand who were the people behind the Pahalgam attack. And all these inputs are being put together to create the big picture of who these people were, how they planned, what was the recce carried out. So Hashim Musa alias Suleiman, it is being speculated by the agencies after intelligence inputs and after speaking to OGWs that perhaps he had trained as a para-commando. How things are unfolding in the last 1 week is also a reason for this likelihood. These people are avoiding any civilian contact. In the past, we've seen when terrorists have carried out a strike and they're running, they are depending on the local civilian population for food and for other logistical arrangements. For example, if someone is injured and if they need any medicine, they would depend on the local villagers. If they need food, food is the biggest giveaway. But in this case, we are told that they are not going into any village, neither is any OGW coming to deliver them food. At least in one instance, a villager in South Kashmir complained that people who look like these sketches, so possibly this group of terrorists, they entered into their houses and snatched food and ran away. And this was at a